Hiya, I'm Carly from Kip McGrath in Carlisle, and today we're going to be looking at oxymorons. So they are another literary device that people can use in their writing to make it interesting. We don't use them all that often, but when they are used, they're quite effective. So the idea behind them is that it's two contrasting things that we put together. So really it's kind of a contradiction in terms, but we understand what they mean. So for example, it was an open secret. So it was meant to be a secret, but everybody knew about it. Seriously funny. Well, in that context, we're not saying that it was serious and funny, we're saying that it was very funny. So that is another oxymoron. Cruel kindness. So we talk about cruel to be kind, that sort of thing. So a cruel kindness, well, they aren't actually the same thing, but we understand what the author is trying to portray. Act naturally, again, a contradiction in terms. If you're acting, you cannot possibly be being natural. But it's something that we all say as like a turn of phrase all the time. He was clearly confused. Well, how can you be clearly confused? They're two opposite things. It can't be clear and confusing. Again, a living death, very unpleasant thought, but a living death is another oxymoron. The silence was deafening. We hear that all the time, but it's not possible. If it's deafening, it will be really loud. If it was silent, by its definition, it cannot be deafening. But we understand what they mean. They mean that it was so quiet that actually it felt overwhelming to the person. It felt like they were being deafened. Bittersweet is another one. Things cannot taste bitter and sweet, but we talk about something being bittersweet because perhaps it's got an element of it that's positive, but also an element of it that's negative. And so together, there's good parts of it and bad parts of it. So it was a bittersweet thing. So these are all oxymorons. So you could try and use some of them in writing. It would be kind of useful to memorise, say, some of the key ones. So this, these are quite easy to drop into writing. So if children memorise, okay, I know 4 different oxymorons that I can try and fit into my writing somehow. And by doing that, they get more marks because they're demonstrating a different type of literary device. And also it's quite useful to see if they can spot some in writing as well. So those are your oxymorons. Has anybody got their own favourite oxymoron? Share them below. Thanks.